So let's talk about the most common microdeficient or nutrient deficient C's that we have within the body. Now, you'll always hear me say you need to have a nutrient dense quality foods, and you don't need to have supplements or take things if you're eating well. But the reality is, our foods don't have the quality that they used to. They are kind of a little bit more dead, shall we say, and are really not of the nature of what they used to be. But there are certain foods, when you do on more of organic or more on the quality where you know where the farms are and how it's raised, that some of those foods are better. So, what are high nutrient deficiencies? So, number one is usually iron. That means your body is not getting the hemoglobin transferring in the red blood cells. And there's heme iron and non heme iron. And people get that a little confused because they're just like, heme iron, it was absorbed well, and it's usually in animal foods and red meat most of the time. And then other times there's non-heme, which is in animal and plant foods, but is not always absorbed to help transport the oxygen. So you're not always able to get as much of the iron deficiency with plants, but you still can do a good amount. The next deficiency would usually comes in the realm of iodine. Now, you'd be surprised. It used to not have that, but what happens is a lot of the iodine was taken out of the salts, and it's a common nutrient deficiency. It causes a lot of thyroid issues, hormone imbalances, and seriousness overall. There's shortness of breath, heart disease, and weight gain. There is a lot of dietary things that you can actually take, and food wise, things of like seaweed, eggs, fish, of those nature. Now, vitamin D, I think every single person, about 85 to 90% of the population, is low on vitamin D in some manner. So in the United States, they say it's about 70%. I think it's way, way more. Almost every single person could be deficient. And it's not just about the sun, it helps with fractures, it does help with weakness, it helps with bone loss, but it is so much more to the body. It even helps with depression, metabolism, and overall our gut health. So there is a good need for it. Things that you can eat that will help with vitamin D. So there's vitamin D2, vitamin D3. You want to take vitamin D2 with calcium. You want to take vitamin D3 with K2. And that's vitamin K, and that will help with absorption. Vitamin D is really big on helping with overall immune function and our body to help with risk of types of different cancers. Foods that you can eat that will help in this are, of course, sunlight. That's just one. Food wise, cod liver oil, milk, egg yolks, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel. Now, huge is B, vitamin B complexes. Now, B12 is the most necessity to understand because B12 can cause neurological and brain and nerve function damage if it is too low. So it's super important to have B12 levels. Now, the scary part about the B12 is that it is absorbed in the small intestines, and individuals come with it is called pernicious anemia when they're not able to absorb B12 and they have to have it absorbed or taken. So they're very deficient. A lot of vegetarians and vegans are deficient also because of they are not producing animal proteins, which has a higher quality, higher amount, not necessarily quality amounts of B12. But there are foods that you can take that do have high amounts of B12, like seaweed and spirulina. So those are available for individuals that are not eating meat. Additional items are you can have the shots being administered to you with a doctor, or you can take it in food intake. So food B12 is shellfish, organ meat, regular meat, eggs, milk products. Now there are vegetarian wise, like I have said, you can take seaweed, spirulina, and some sea moss has also been known to have high amounts of B12. There are more available options for B12. I'll give you more links if you have any questions on that. And then there's also calcium deficiency. Some individuals are calcium deficient because they're not getting enough nutrients for the bones and within the body. They're not having enough dark green vegetables, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale, and they may not have enough dairy or fish within their diet. Vitamin A deficiencies, this is fat soluble, helping with your teeth, your bones, your overall health, and things of this nature. It seems to be that because of all comes down to what we're putting into our body is not available. Where do you get this? Sweet potatoes, carrots, leafy vegetables, fish oil, organ meat. Would you believe having some liver meat is of extensive high amounts of vitamins? And then my bottom line one is magnesium. Magnesium has over 300 available uses and need in the body. And there's two different types of magnesium, or actually four different types of magnesium, but the two that we usually know about is magnesium silate and magnesium bisylate. So one absorbs more, one helps with laxation. Magnesium citrate is for more of a laxative, and the other one is for more absorption. Magnesium does many of things. One that you don't realize is that it helps with your thyroid hormone and your thyroid health, which will then also in turn with hormone balance and overall health and fatigue. Magnesium also helps with heart rhythm, abnormal balance, restless leg syndrome, fatigue, migraines, cramps, overall feeling, insulin resistance. There's many of things that it does, and I can't wait just to talk about that alone on another podcast or another video with you. Ways that you can get magnesium, obviously supplements, whole grains, nuts, chocolate, dark green leafy vegetables. And bottom line, nutrient deficiency and not having enough is really on what you're putting in your body. So these are just some of the few. Micronutrient testing is one of the tests that I will provide for my patients, or look into that or discuss with individuals. What are you taking? And if you're not, then are we at least trying to put in some good quality green, like a super green supplement or a quality protein esque with multivitamins and probiotics. So these are just kind of a quick review. If you have any questions, reach out to us anytime.